What if I tell you that making $1 million actually made me feel emptier? Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. I had the cars, I had the success, I had the freedom I was working for. But once I got it, I felt lost. So in this video, I'm going to break down what actually happens after you reach financial freedom that most people don't talk about, and how I reconnected with my purpose through one simple daily routine that changed my life, that can change yours as well. Hey, this is Nandor, and I built my first 7-figure business from scratch, starting with door knocking and no money. And while the first million felt amazing for a moment, it didn't bring the fulfillment I thought it would. So today, I want to give you a real, honest look into what happens when you make it, and how to avoid that emotional crash that usually follows. This one's for entrepreneurs chasing freedom but also craving purpose. So I hit my first million at 27 or maybe 28. Back then, my goal was simple: make money, get rich to be able to buy the things I want, and that's it. I thought if I could just make $1 million, I would feel successful, powerful, and fulfilled. And yeah, I got the cars I dreamed about as a kid, the Mercedes, the Porsches, being able to buy a Lambo. I could finally walk into a dealership, swipe the card, drive off with something fast and loud. I'm not saying I don't like that stuff. I do. I love nice cars, I love design, I love performance and speed. What people don't see is what actually took to get there. I was door knocking neighborhoods, sweating through Florida heat, getting rejected daily. I was skipping lunch just to pay for flyers. I still remember I had less than a couple $1,000s in my account, and I had to choose between eating cool meals or printing marketing materials and putting gas into my car. But I chose the gas and the flyers. And when the money finally came, it felt like I would want something bigger than cash. It felt like validation. But then something weird happened. I was so surprised how quickly the excitement faded. The new car feeling, probably gone in a week. The Rolex, cool for a day. Actually, I like my Rolex, but probably because I got it as a gift. I started to realize something important. Money magnifies who you are, but it doesn't fix what's missing. So if you don't know who you are before the million, you're not gonna magically find it after. See, what nobody tells you is that most people build their entire identity around chasing something, and the moment they get it, they lose themselves. The Lamborghini becomes them. The money becomes their personality. And the second those things are gone, they don't know who they are anymore. And that's the trap. It hit me hard. I started chasing the next thing, 3 or 4 different startups, one after the other. Real estate wholesaling, building an app, lead generation agency. I kept jumping from one thing to another, thinking this time it will feel right. But it didn't, because deep down, I wasn't connected to why I was doing any of it. And that's when the real work started. Everything changed when I asked myself a different question. Who do I actually want to become? Not what I want to buy, not what my net worth should be, but who am I becoming in the process? And that's where the shift happened. I started thinking long term, not just what I wanted, but what I wanted to build. That's when I found business buying. It wasn't another startup. It was something that made sense. It was strategic, it aligned with who I was, and it gave me time. But even then, I knew money still couldn't be the motivator. It had to come from something deeper. Because if your goals are only income-based, then your success will always feel temporary, always fragile. And one day, you will wake up rich and still wonder why you feel empty. So whether you're in your 20s or your 40s, I know you know what I'm talking about. So let me give you that one thing that helped me reconnect with myself after all of this. It's a simple morning routine I still use every day. First, I wake up early, whether if it's 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Have at least an hour for yourself. Give yourself space before your day starts, and do not look at your phone, especially your messages. I know that's not easy, but just try it out for 30 days. And second, journal. Take at least 10 to 15 minutes each day and ask yourself this question. How do you feel today? What energy are you leading with? Where are you giving away your power? And who do you want to become? This will help you empty your mind. And this isn't about setting goals. It's about building self-awareness. And third, visualize. Only takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but so important. So sit still, use a guided audio if you want. This is where you can touch your phone, but only to use YouTube. But if you set it up a night before, that will also make it easier to avoid getting sucked in, seeing all the emails, messages, or calls. And when you visualize, you can focus on these questions. First, where do you truly see yourself in the future? And why do you want to go there? Is it about freedom, family, legacy, or something deeper? Second, What does that life actually look like? The people, the energy, the pace, the way you move. Visualize the full environment, not just the goals, but how it feels. And third, what path feels most aligned with that vision and what no longer fits. Let your future self guide your decision today. And then fourth, read for 30 minutes. Read books that fit your purpose, not random inspiration, but clarity. So try to stick to 3 to 5 core subjects that actually matter to you right now, that things you actually need answers for. Whether that's business, leadership, personal growth, spiritual, financials, let your reading sharpen your direction. So if you don't know what to read, simple, just go and ask somebody who already has what you need to accomplish. And then fifth, walk 10,000 steps every day. I took this advice from a good friend of mine. This one can really help you wind down. Take a walk, no calls, no podcast, no music if you can. So try to let your brain breathe. Every time I take the walk, especially in the afternoons, ideas will come through. I reset. So I disconnect to reconnect. You don't need anything fancy, just your legs and a phone to track the steps. I use an app called Streaks, which can help you keep you accountable. Try these habits out for at least 90 days and just follow the rule of never miss twice. And you will stop reacting and start living with intention. And I will say this too, some of the loneliest people I've ever met are wealthy. They sit in the beautiful homes with no peace. They eat $300 dinners but can't taste the food. They have mastered business but never learned to master themselves. So don't let that be you. You want to know what the real flex is? It's not the Lambos, the Ferraris, it's not the Rolex. It's knowing that if everything disappeared tomorrow, you would still know who you are. And that's what this routine gave me. That's what the first million didn't give me. So wherever you're right now, chasing your first million or 10 million, or even just for clarity, start now and start small. Just give yourself time in the morning and ask, who am I becoming? Because purpose is what makes that sustainable. Thanks so much for watching. If you're building, chasing, or reinventing yourself, I hope this gave you something real to sit with. And don't forget to take action. See you in the next one.